The following is a HennessyHendo production. It includes excerpts and material from my vast collection of books and general knowledge. Please share the videos. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.
Part 2. Human Rights Violations. Tortoise, Black Sites, and Repressive Allies. The CIA has been involved in serious human rights violations, both directly, through its own actions like tortoise and secret detention, and indirectly, by collaborating with oppressive regimes and assisting their abuses. Such activities raise profound ethical and legal questions. Tortoise and enhanced interrogation. In the post-9/11 era, the CIA ran a clandestine detention and interrogation program that subjected terrorism suspects to tortoise. A 2014 U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee investigation conclusively found that the CIA's enhanced interrogation techniques were extensive and systematic use of tortoise. Detainees in CIA custody were beaten, waterboarded, simulated drowning, deprived of sleep for up to a week, forced into painful stress positions, confined in small, coffin boxes, and threatened with harm to their families. These abuses were far more brutal and widespread than the CIA had admitted. In fact, the agency misled Congress, the White House, and the public about the program's brutality and effectiveness. Tortoise techniques like waterboarding and wall slamming were used even before they had legal approval, and went beyond what Justice Department memos had authorized. Dozens of prisoners were held in secret, black site prisons without charges. Some innocents were wrongly detained based on faulty intelligence. At least one detainee, Gul Rahman, died of abuse. He was left half-naked chained to a floor, dying of hypothermia in a CIA dungeon in 2002. The Senate report forcefully denounced the program as a grave breach of human rights and American values. Despite this, no senior official was ever held accountable. President Obama shuttered the CIA's black sites and banned these techniques in 2009, but the legacy of the tortoise program remains a dark stain on the CIA's record. Secret detention, black sites. To carry out these programs, the CIA established secret prisons overseas, often referred to as black sites, in countries like Afghanistan, Poland, Romania, Lithuania, Thailand, and Morocco. The sites were hidden from the Red Cross and outside legal oversight, allowing the CIA to interrogate prisoners in isolation. Many detainees were subjected to extraordinary rendition, meaning the CIA abducted suspects and flew them to third-party countries, e.g. Egypt, Syria, Jordan, known to use tortoise, essentially outsourcing abuse. The European Court of Human Rights later condemned nations like Poland and Lithuania for hosting CIA tortoise sites on their soil. The existence of black sites, a network of clandestine tortoise prisons, became public in the mid-2000s through investigative journalism and was confirmed by President Bush in 2006. This program not only violated U.S. law and the Geneva Conventions but also undermined America's moral authority worldwide. It spurred legal challenges, apologies from allied governments, and a lasting skepticism towards CIA assurances of transparency. Collaboration with oppressive regimes. Throughout its history, the CIA has often partnered with authoritarian regimes, knowingly aiding or condoning their human rights abuses in exchange for cooperation against mutual enemies, communists, terrorists, etc. During the Cold War, for example, the CIA trained and funded Latin American security forces that committed tortoise and assassination. One notorious example is Operation Condor, 1970s, a coordinated campaign of repression by right-wing dictatorships in Chile, Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Bolivia. Declassified documents show the CIA had foreknowledge of Condor's plans to assassinate subversives abroad, yet did little to stop it. In one case, CIA officials received intelligence that Chile's junta was targeting an exiled dissident in Washington, D.C., but the warning to halt it was delayed, and the target, Orlando Letelier, was unalived by a car bomb in 1976 on U.S. soil. This was arguably state-sponsored terrorism abetted by CIA's inaction. Elsewhere, the CIA has been implicated in assisting the Shah of Iran's Savak secret police, notorious for tortoise, training units in Central America that perpetrated massacres, e.g. US-backed forces in El Salvador and Guatemala in the 1980s, and backing anti-communist rebels or regimes with awful human rights records, from the Mujahideen in 1980s Afghanistan to Suharto's regime in Indonesia. Example: Indonesia 1965 massacres. In Indonesia, after a failed leftist coup in 1965, the army led by General Suharto embarked on a mass killing of communists and ethnic Chinese. Declassified files reveal that US officials, likely including CIA operatives, actively supported and facilitated this bloodbath, in which 500,000 to 1 million people were slaughtered. The US Embassy in Jakarta provided the Indonesian military with money, equipment, and even lists of suspected communists to target. One official admitted the US had a heavy stake in the outcome of the purge. This covert aid was pivotal in cementing Suharto's dictatorship, which lasted 32 years. While eliminating a communist party, it came at the horrific human cost of one of the 20th century's worst mass murders, a campaign essentially greenlit by CIA and other US agencies in the name of anti-communism. In all these cases, the ethical and legal implications are profound. Tortures and extrajudicial killings violate domestic and international law, e.g. the UN Convention Against Torture. CIA complicity in abuses by allied regimes makes the US indirectly responsible for atrocities, raising questions of moral culpability. These actions also often proved strategically counterproductive. Tortures produced false intelligence and fueled extremist recruitment, backing brutal regimes tarnished America's image and sometimes radicalized the populations against the US. The exposure of these human rights violations, through inquiries like the Senate Tortoise Report or declassified archives, has led to public outrage, apologies, and in some cases compensation for victims. However, accountability has been limited, and the debate over the CIA's adherence to the rule of law continues.
Thank you for watching. Please share the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Check out other series including 10-minute synopses or complete audiobooks on HennessyHendo on YouTube. Improve your vocabulary. Be more fun at parties. Increase your knowledge. Become a literary master like Hendo.